all
Oh,
fired.
it was warm and fuzzy.
It was in December when all of you
Oh,
were let
yeah.
go?
Yeah, this is a front page. This is the first time I ever made the front page of the Post-Dispatch. So
Tell the story again.
the backstory goes on, and Jimmy Holder was there as well. So it was the day of the Toys for Tots deal, and they brought this guy in named Al Brady Law, who was supposed to be the world's greatest program director. It turns out, let's just say he wasn't. He has since passed away.
Oh.
But so it's not a normal show. It's a very different show, and so I was doing the noon to 3 show that day, I want to say. And so I came in at about noon. No, I'm sorry. I came in about 9 o'clock because I had to pick up some things at the station, and then I was heading out to Mid Rivers Mall Drive. Mid Rivers Mall, where the toy drive was that year. And as I'm leaving, Craig Unger walks into my office and says, "Tim Dorsey needs to see you." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So
I'm getting a Christmas bonus.
So I walk into Tim Dorsey's office, and Al Brady Law is there, Tim Dorsey's there, and Craig Unger's there. And I walked in, and I knew instantly that, this was it. I was getting fired. So I walked in, and I said, "Do I have to do today's show?"
Oh, my gosh.
That's the first words I said. And they said, "We'd like you to work to January 6th. And I said, "Fine." And they said, "We don't want you going around talking about this." And I said, "I'm not the one talking about this. Some guy who forgot his pants last week who was trying out, he's writing about it on his webpage. I'm not talking about it." And they were like, "Well, we don't want you to talk about this on Chalk Talk." I was like, "Trust me, I'm not going to be talking about this on Chalk Talk." So they said, "Fine." So we left. And as I was leaving, there's the sort of cubicle area where you can sort of see over the cubicle. So I'm walking down one side, and on the other side, Wendy Weiss is walking down the other side.
Oh, no.
And so I'm like, "Wendy, come here. And she's like, "Hold on a second. Tim needs to see me for a second." I'm like, "No, come here.
Don't go in there.
She's like, no, hold on a second. Tim needs to see me. I'll talk to you in a minute." And I was like, "Oh boy." So we get out to Mid Rivers Mall Drive, and Randy Carricker's there. And so now word's leaking out. But it wasn't, so I just thought I was fired. And then it turns out everybody was fired. I was like 15 people who were fired. The only one who survived was John Hadley. And we call him the Ted Knight of the KTRS. Because if you remember, during the Mary Tyler Moore show, right, everybody got fired except Ted Knight. But Ted Knight. So he was the Ted Knight of the Big 550 KTRS.
And I know, no matter what goes on in your life, everyone is professional when you go on the air, no matter what's going on.
Oh, it was the worst.
But it's Christmas time. You're doing a
Well,
show
what was terrible was so you had to do this show and promote these underprivileged kids, and so you were trying to do your job, and then you get off the air, and then people would come up to you like, "Did you just get fired? Is everybody fired? What's going on?" And you're like, "This is the worst. This is the worst." That was the worst. You're fired, but can you go do the Christmas show?
I know. The timing.
It was the worst. But that was... Now, I've had much nicer memories of the Toys for Tots toy drive.
Yes.
But
that clearly was the...
But again, like a comedian, when a comedian has a good show, there's nothing funny about a good show. You go out, you have a good show, you go home. The only really funny comedian stories are when they go on stage and they bomb. Well, I've had lots of nice memories about the Toys for Tots, but every time this year I'm like, "Oh yeah, this is the one I had to do when I got fired."
That's crazy.
And the next morning, the Post-Dispatch had every single name: Weiss, Holder, Milhaven, Carricker. And
you all had to go on the air that day.
We all went on the air that day. Yeah. Yeah. How about
Jeez.
that? That was some. It was some day, man.
You're like telling Wendy, "Don't go in there."
Wendy, she's like, "Hold on. Will you hold on? I'll be in. I'll talk to you in a minute." I'm like, "No, come here. No, Tim needs me." I was like, "Oh boy, oh boy, this is not good." Though I did get revenge when they called me 3 months later and said, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'll be there when I get there."
Yes, exactly.
710 Big 550 KTRS. John Beal Roofing, ladies and gentlemen.